Hi, my name is John Stevenson. Welcome to the Guaranteed Retirement Guy Show. Today we're going to be talking about inflation and if it can destroy your fixed income, especially if you're getting it from an annuity. So I sell annuities and I sell a lot of these level payment options, and I get a lot of questions about inflation. And people ask, well, that looks really good for the next 10, 15 years. But what happens after that with inflation? I don't have as much purchasing power. What do I do then? Okay, so we're going to explore that together, and we're going to look at the best annuity contracts to give you guaranteed income and to give you those inflation increases, and what my clients are currently doing right now to beat inflation. In fact, they're more than beating inflation. They're getting lots of lifetime income, and they don't have to worry about the stock market. So there's a lot of things to consider. So I'm going to share my screen. We'll kind of go through this together. But inflation is important because, if you're making $100,000 a year, it's, maybe that's great, but then maybe it's not so great in 20 years, right? Maybe it's only worth 50. Okay, that's the thing, is you want to make sure you have that purchasing power. And so there is a right way to do this. Okay, so I'm going to, and again, I'll share my screen because I really just want to work through this together to kind of show you how you can beat this monster, because inflation really is that. I mean, it's just, especially in the last few years, it's been crazy high, and people are concerned, and rightfully so. So, and again, if you're looking for annuities, I sell annuities. I show everything that's available. So that's really important to know as well. If you're looking for annuities and you just want to research and you don't want to talk to someone, then go to my website, johnstevenson.com. You will see what is available. And my calculators, they actually tie into all of the carriers. Okay. So if you're looking for the highest payouts, like income payouts, then go to the income rider, and you can research and you'll be able to see all of the best options right there. So anyways, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through this together. All right, so I am basing this someone who's in Texas. They got $400,000. They're married. They're 58. Their spouse is 59. And they're planning on taking income in 4 years at age 62 and 63. I say planning because they might decide to take it earlier and they might decide to take it later. And with an income rider, you don't have to decide when you purchase the annuity, you don't have to decide when you're going to take income. You know what it's going to be. There is no surprise. But it's good to plan it out and say, all right, well, this is the highest income I'm going to get, but if I decide to wait longer, it's going to give me this. If I decide to take it earlier, it's going to be this. Okay. All right. So let's go through here and we'll say, all right, if they wait 4 years, here are the highest payouts. You got North American, you got Midland, Clear Spring, Equitrust, F&G, a lot of good carriers, Prudential, Nationwide. So if you're looking for highest income, then right now, at least as of the recording of this video, North American is being competitive. Okay, when you go to the calculators, you might see other companies, and that's totally normal. They're competitive in different ways for either single or joint payouts. We're looking at joint payouts right now. And that changes and fluctuates all the time. And of course, it depends on the state. So if we're looking at this one, though, North American pays out $37,549 joint income for the rest of your life. So that's pretty good for now, right? Because, right, we're talking about inflation, and I'm gonna go to that. So this one, just so you know, this is how it works. They're giving you 8% growth. Grows to $544,000. That's 8% compounded, and then it's multiplied by 6.9%. That's give you $37,000 every year for the rest of your life and your spouse's life. And the account balance does not last. The account balance might last to your mid 70s, late 70s. Okay, you can see that right there. Okay, that's based off of current index growth, and it's not a legacy product. Okay, this is an income product. So they're paying $400,000 for a $1.2 million, almost $1.3 million pension. Okay, that's what they're purchasing. Okay, and of course, if they die early, both of them, there is a death benefit. Okay, disclaimer there. They don't keep your money. Okay, so that's important to know as well. So here's one strategy that you can use. So in this couple's instance, they might have $1.2 million total cash. Okay, and right now this is enough. Okay, right now the $400,000 is what they want to put in. They're going to get $32,000 in Social Security at that age. So combining that, okay, they're going to get roughly $70,000 a year for the rest of their life. Okay, but that's if they don't change anything. Of course, one part of it's going to go up. Social Security goes up with inflation, right? They'll give you an average of 2% increase a year, depending on inflation. But the other portion, the 37 grand that we're looking at here, does not rise. Okay. It's guaranteed for the rest of your life, but it does not rise. So how do you beat inflation on this? Well, one way to do it is they only put $400,000 of their cash into an annuity contract. Okay. They might leave $400,000 in the S&P 500, and they might leave $400,000 in just pure cash. Okay. Maybe they stick it in high yield savings or money market. Okay. But they got something where they have liquidity, they got safety, and if there's an emergency, they can get to that money. But they also need growth. Okay. So they might decide to put their money into the S&P 500. Okay. So we can just go in here and pull up an investment calculator. So if we throw in, let's just say $400,000, and let's just say 10 years. Okay. Return rate S&P 500, we'll just say 10% average, and we'll leave it at that. All right. So at the end of 10 years, if it averages 10%, you have over a $1 million nest egg. Okay. So what's going to happen at that point is you're like, all right, well, it's been great. I've enjoyed this income, but now we need more income. So I'm going to drop another $300,000 into an annuity contract. What's nice is you're older. So because you're older, they pay you more, and you've got 300 grand to put in. So you're going to probably add another $25,000, $30,000 in lifetime income, just like that. Okay. So now you've beat inflation like by a long shot. Okay. And so now you got $700,000 left. So you look at it and say, okay, well, I got $700,000. That's still staying in the market. And, I'm only going to wait 5 years to buy my next annuity because I don't want to wait 10 years for the next one. Okay. All right. So that 700,000 grows to 1.127. Well, you might decide to take again. Maybe this time you want to take $400,000 out, but you're older now. So maybe that's going to give you another $45,000 in income. Right. And so now you're back down to 700 grand. Okay. You see what I mean? This is a very popular way to do it. And by the way, we haven't touched your other savings. Remember, your other savings is still sitting there and growing. Maybe you have it in a 2 or 3 or 4% high yield savings account and it's growing. That's nice too. Okay. That's a great way to keep up with inflation just with your savings. But with this, we're looking for growth and we want to use it to manage inflation costs. So over time, you might bring your income up to $200,000 or $300,000 a year over the next 30 years because you're fighting inflation. Not only fighting it, you're beating it soundly. Okay. And this is a great strategy to do it. There is another way. So I'm going to show that to you real quick here. So go back here and say, well, I don't want to do any of that. Okay. Or I don't have any extra money. Okay. This is all I got. So I need inflation protection another way. So what you could do is say, well, we still got the same $400,000. And we'll just say increasing income. Okay. Now, increasing income annuities, they do increase, but they start out smaller. Okay, in the beginning. So we look at this and say, okay, how small? Well, F&G does 29,423 and Allianz 28,600, but they increase. Well, let's look at the increases. So again, you're starting out lower. You're like, what are we at? $8,000 less. Okay. So if you look at that, $8,000 less, you look at that and say, okay, well, that's okay, I guess. Right? But then you go down here. Let's just take a look at this. Let's see here. Okay. So if you look here, you will notice the annual withdrawals, $29,000 a year. And they're showing you, let's see, $29,000 if there's no index growth. But if there is index growth, then it increases. See, 29,000 keeps going until what? Until the account balance hits zero, right? See the account value there? And then it never changes. It's 37 grand. Okay. That's the problem. That's the problem I see with this one. Now let's go back here. Okay. And we'll say Allianz. I do like Allianz because they are unique in this department. So here's $28,000. Yes, I know it's a lot less than the fixed one, and they're showing you this is what happens if there's a recession. There's no growth. Okay, and they're giving you some of the S&P 500. They're not giving you all of it, but they're giving you some of it. So then you go down and say, okay, well, if I get, you're capping my growth at 4%, which is fine when you're looking for annuity income. But you can see here, because of growth, you'll probably start a little bit higher, like $30,592, but that's still $7 grand less. And it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years to get to where you would have started right at the beginning with the other one. Okay. So you have to be okay with that. But what's nice is you'll continue to see increases, and you'll notice even when the account balance runs out, you see those increases continue. Allianz is nice when it comes to that. I mean, they're unique, and they continue to give you that income for the rest of your life, and it continues to increase regardless of the account value being at zero. Okay. So that's pretty nice. So yes, it does take like 7 years to get to where you would have started at the beginning, but you do have increases over time. And this is based off of index performance. If you have 3 years where there's no index performance, the downside is there won't be any increases. Now you can always buy a SPIA or a DIA, and they'll give you a straight 2 or 3% or whatever you choose for inflation. And that's guaranteed no matter what the index does. But those payouts typically start even less than this. So you just have to realize when you look at those, you might look at that and say, wow, I don't want to wait 10 years for my income to get to what I could have got right now. And maybe I could have banked my cash, right? So you just have to, it's not very popular. I do sell these, but not as much as just the level payments, because most people want higher income now. They don't know how long they're going to live. And if they don't need all of it, they'll save it, and they'll even put it back into any type of growth options maybe they have available to them. That's kind of nice to be able to do. If you don't need the money from your income, you can still bank it somewhere. You can still invest it somewhere, and that will allow you to grow your wealth as well. So I hope this helps. I just, when I try to talk about inflation and I try to show these illustrations, I want people to realize there are options out there without using all of your money. That's really, really important. You should not use all of your money. In fact, you're not allowed to use all of your money in annuity contracts. The carriers will not let you. Okay. And it's just common sense. You got to have some money outside for liquidity, for emergency savings. And with annuity contracts, they give you the guarantees. If you want to have growth in the stock market and be able to strip off some of that interest, some of that growth every 5 to 10 years, that's a very effective way of adding more income to your baseline. Okay. And you just continue to stack your income over here and continue to let your wealth, your growth side grow for you. So that's very effective. And that way, if we have a downturn for 3 years, you're going to be fine because you got all these annuity contracts, or even one giving you guaranteed income, and you're okay. Like you don't have to cancel your plans, cancel your trips. You don't have to change your lifestyle. You know that the market will bounce back, and it's nice to be able to have that guarantee for that peace of mind. So anyways, hope that's helpful. If you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment below if you got questions. If you are looking to purchase an annuity, go to the link below this video and it'll go directly to my calendar. Or you can go to my website, johnstevenson.com, and book a call there. These are Zoom meetings, and I will share my screen and I will show you what's available. I'll answer your questions. And of course, I'd love to sell you an annuity if that's what you're looking for. I'm not going to try to hard sell you, but I am there to help you, and I'd love to help you if that's what you're looking for. So anyways, hope this is helpful. I really do appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.